Hello, welcome back once again to your favorite program, TALKSHOP, where we tell it like it is and let the chips fall where they may. You know what that means? It means whatever the truth is, let's talk about it truthfully. And wherever the chips will fall, let them fall. Okay? And that's in the same way that why we say that truth crashed to earth shall rise again. You can't hide truth. You can't hide truth. You can't pretend. Whatever you do, truth crashed to earth shall rise again. And that's why I keep asking all the time when we come here, what time is it? And your answer is always the same thing. Yeah, it is nation time. So we have to build this nation. You need choice. And for all the people who are also aimed at doing jandam. When I say jandam, I don't mean jandam from only opposition. No. I mean the lies, jandam, government, opposition, whoever, when the jandam, we will correct it. Because we are acting for the people. We want the people to know the truth. So whoever is giving the jandam from whatever side will come here and expose the jandam. That's the only way we can build this country. Is to kill jandam. And then Ghana will eventually rise again as we want it. Thank you, folks. Today there's something very interesting that I want to talk about. It's on the list of everybody. Corruption. Oh, there's too much corruption. There's too much corruption. Some of you are young, so you don't know. But let me take you way back. When Nkrumah was overthrown in 1966, among the charges, corruption. Nkrumah was corrupt. When the 1972 coup came, Barake Achampong, among the charges that they hit the Progress Party with then, corruption was was very, very strongly inside. And I think there was a counter coup and they didn't succeed, but all of them were charges of corruption. And when JJ came in 1979, I didn't know, the people are too corrupt. We have the corruption in the system. I don't do such a great JJ. But JJ Zubai, there was corruption. Now, all I'm saying is this, folks. Every government that has been overthrown in this country, one of the charges, or one of the main charges were that the government was corruption. JJ Part 1 and Part 2, it was all corruption. So corruption is a word that is part of our political lingo in Ghana. Corruption, corruption, corruption. So today I just decided I'll just take a little look at corruption. And what I think about corruption. And why corruption is like the most featured name when it comes to vices in Africa. Corruption. Then they'll come with the poll. Or they both corrupt. Number 1 is the judiciary. Number 2 is the Ghana police. Number 3 is so-so. Number 4 so-so. They all come up with all kinds of readings or surveys on corruption. And I've sat down, I've gone through all the surveys, The judiciary has suffered at one point. The police always suffered. Parliament itself always sometimes suffers. So all these corruption. And I've come up with all of that, and I just reviewed all of these things. And today I said, me too. Today I'll talk about corruption. And with everything I've read, and with what I know so far, what I will say, and this is KSN's personal opinion, is this. That the main cause of corruption we are having in this country is one, the system itself is corrupt. We are living in a very corrupt system. But even the system is legally structured, though. So think about it, legally structured, it is right thing. It is the good thing to do, it's legal. But even that system is corrupt. So we are not talking about the system that we have, the system that is so corrupt that, check this out, folks. The system is so corrupt that in order to be able to succeed in the system, you have to be corrupt. Because I'm tired of all this corruption. When the fundamental issue is that the system that we are operating is corrupt. So if you are a very decent person, whether you go by the law, you are very law abiding and everything, and then you're operating in a system, and that system itself is corrupt, what do? You don't have a choice. Before you realize, in order to survive in a system that is corrupt, even not thinking well of it or knowingly, you just realize you're doing a few things that technically are corrupt. But that's the way the system is structured. I'm not saying this to excuse the so many other forms of corruption. No, that those are there, and those are corruptions we will deal with. I'll be talking about that. They are there. But I'm saying the major part of the problem itself is that the system itself is corrupt. Let me give you a quick example. This is just by the way. Long ago, I don't even remember when. I think when I arrived from the US ages ago, I did it, over 20 years, and I was like, let's build a nation, let's fight corruption. I was an advocate for fighting against corruption. I am still an advocate. But I remember what happened. I think I was going somewhere, but wherever I was unfortunately, no credit, I was speeding. So the police stopped me and they gave me summons for speeding and whatever, and telling me blah, 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 blah. And I said, fine. And whatever it is, if I have to pay a fine, I'll pay to the government. You're corrupt. I'm paying it to the police. You're corrupt. So they went back and forth, and I could tell I could have resolved the issue easily by offering something, but you're corrupt. So I was bold enough for them to drive me to the nearest police station. I don't remember where they stopped me. I chilled, this over 20 years ago, but they drove me, the closest D-Valley or whatever it was there was around Koforidua. So we had to come to Koforidua. I could have resolved the matter easily. Say, shall I take this and let me go? But shall I be corrupt? I could have resolved it right there when they arrested me, but no! This is the corruption that's killing Ghana. I will fight against it. They drove me all the way there from there, wherever they caught me. They brought me to Koforidua. And they prepared the summons against me. And guess what? I don't care. I'll pay whatever. But it ended up that I should be coming to court. And I have to come to court in Koforidua. Folks, I live in Accra. I'm sorry, but I'm an extremely busy person. And I couldn't imagine how I would commute from Accra to Koforidua to go to court. Maybe it's agenda, I come back to Accra. The same time I say that I said this date, then I go back to Koforidua. We can't say, oh, this is crap. Let's finish this thing. And I'm telling you the truth. So I did what I had to do. I was generous. That time I was in KSMO. Nobody knew me then. I just arrived. But I arrived as a very strong nationalist who will fight against these things in Ghana. I did what I had to do. And I resolved it. Because there was no way I would leave Accra Wednesday morning, whatever morning, me drive to Koforidua, me court. Folks, this is what I mean by the structure of the system itself is corrupt. You can arrest me in Koforidua wherever you want. We so Timothy Accra, okay, you put over it's in the computer, so now the Accra courts will deal with me. So I'm supposed to leave from my home to Accra, and my Accra MT or whatever. Deal with it in Accra. That is a system that is intelligent. It's a system that can fight corruption. But you can't arrest me, I live in Accra, arrest me in Koforidua, say, Mimra Koforidua to court. It doesn't happen, folks. Well, honestly, I could have been the straight man. Yeah, that option was there. So every time when I'm needed, I'll come into Koforidua to go to court. But honestly, I'm too busy in Accra. I have things to do in Accra. Imagine the number of people who are in my shoes, who are living and working in Accra, that you arrest somewhere in whatever, and say you have to come to Koforidua for court. And how many will not settle right there and then? Whereas if we had a system that I could come to Accra and appeal and do whatever I want to do in the Accra system and do, why would I even give some Nokofio to anybody else? Let me end it here. I'm just saying that even the system, how it is structured, is corrupt. Because it is very difficult to go by the system and do the right thing. If you're someone, yes, there are so many times that I'm forced to do the right thing and I will. But the average person on the street, you give them certain ridiculous conditions. That is the system. It is legal. But the best thing, the best option for them at that time is this: actually with the Jiwe in a corner, mean free. And then solve the mission, solve the information right there. So folks, I'm not justifying it all. I'm not sitting here and saying that people have the right to be corrupt because the system is bad, so they are justified. All I'm suggesting is that look at the system again. Rewrite the system again. Yeah, sure, you have to be punitive. There are certain things that you should punish people for, but not to the extent that the punishment is so high and so ridiculous that it's easy for them to give even a tenth of them to the policeman and then forget about the case. Charlie, all of these things have to be looked at. Somebody will come from abroad, he brought a car in, and when the car arrives, there's so much money that he has to pay within a certain short time. They're not able to pay within that short time, so he goes into a friend and says, is it demurrage? Whatever it is. So it stays there, and there's more punitive amounts being pushed on the amount that he couldn't even afford in the first place. Yet the punishment, so it becomes a huge amount. At the end of the day, the person is not able to pay for the car. Let's say the car cost him $10,000, if that much. The duty you are expecting from him is so high above the 10,000 that's now going to demurrage. There's so much more attached to it. He says, Charlie, I can't get the car. So what do happen? What do? You auction it for less than the 10,000 he already paid for, that you could have charged him. But auction is for something little, so that someone else can come and buy it and go. You don't think that this system is corrupt? Is this a working system? So folks, as we talk about the corruption and what we can't stand about corruption and everything, let's think a little bigger and find out what is that legal. It's protected by law. What is the legal framework we're working with? If that legal framework itself makes it impossible for people to do the right thing, then to me, that is the corruption. When the system is so bad that in order to survive in the system, it's ways and means, which that is all you can afford, so ways and means, dear. When you get to that point, dear, then the system is corrupt. We are seeing this in this oral issue here. See all the billions and billions of cedis and dollars that people have stolen from the country.
We want to conclude with some fascinating figures. The 36 cases that we have reviewed in detail, if we are successful in recoveries, we can retrieve as much as 20.49 billion United States dollars. 20.49 billion United States dollars. 36 cases, and that's from National Cathedral, PDS, SML. You have the GMPC Salt Pond decommissioning. Then we've also done an estimate of the state capture, the lands, if we successfully ask people to pay conservative market value for the lands they have looted. Again, the experts are telling us that we can recover about 702.8 million United States dollars. This is how much we can retrieve. So in all, just a summary, the 36 cases, the high amount cases that we put together, and then the land loot, potentially we can raise about 21.19 billion United States dollars. And that is far more than what we have been chasing the IMF for and subjecting ourselves to all kinds of conditionalities.
We shall retrieve them. We are all watching. It is so difficult to retrieve because of the legal framework that is there to protect such thieves. So at the end of the day, they say, oh, look, let's go and play bargain. Go and sit in the back door, offer something small, and they carry away. It's the system. The system is so corrupt that you have no choice but to be corrupt in order to survive in the system. Now, these are some of the things we have to now start thinking about and looking at the system, at the laws, and about all of these things that actually encourage people to be corrupt. The police, they are not angry. They are okay. If the policeman is going to find you something or is going to take you to court, and at the end of the day, you have to pay 20,000 Ghana cedis. And you can easily give 100 Ghana to the policeman to vote the case. Why won't you do it? But if you have a system that this is the amount you're supposed to pay, 20, whatever, but until you are paid, we have taken your car thing from you, you can't drive, you can't, certain things that you can do that will actually make that person pay. If you don't have it, then at the end of the day, the policeman benefits. Because the policeman himself knows actually the fine that you have to pay, you can't pay. So you find something small for me and let me go. And they will find that something fun for you and they go. The system is corrupt, folks. So we have very, very decent people, genuine people who really want the system to work. But the structure of the system legally means that, Charlie, let us keep looking at this. So, our political party system, NDC, MPP, TGF, whatever, how do they survive? They survive on money from people who are donating to the party. So they donate to the party, they're pumping so much money to the party, and the party wins the election. Listen to this, the party has won the election. They have won it on the support of money that they have collected from people, individuals, companies, and all other areas. They've collected these monies to win. That alone is corruption. That alone says that the system is corrupted. Right now, and I'm not going to say anything because my producer will not put anything out there unless I have evidence. So I don't have the evidence. But right now, I'm hearing, and please, I'm hearing, it's just allegations, that even some of the people that have been charged under the oral were possibly people who donated bigly. What's his name? Donald Trump. Or say a word be bigly. Some of them might have donated bigly to the campaign of the NDC. And they are in power now. The person that you are going after under the oral, that same person actually contributed bigly to your campaign and you are in power now. The question is, how do you go after him now? We are in corruption. And the only corruption we see is some policemen standing by the, they have mounted these small barriers now. They say, oh, Master, you may have your word, I'm not saying. I like the language of the police when they want the money. Master, and then the word I know. Who are they? You know? And then people like me, I would say it frankly on air. Well, I say, oh, I give them some 10, some 20. These are young. Some of them are like the age of my children. It's bad, it's everything. But all they ask me for is water. I can give them. And I'm supposed to think that that is what is the greatest threat to Ghana, and that big people with big money can sponsor big political parties to get them in government, and they can go away some free, but that's okay. And now 5 6 the corporal no, that's why they're going to go. One of the corruption ban. I'm not excusing myself, honestly. I'm not excusing myself, because we can't be. But I'm saying this, that when we get to the point where the police force is even, we've gotten to the point that they are paid well. They are paid well. It will get to a time where even when you give 100 cedis to a policeman, we are insulting him. Because they pay our warrior, no? And you be. So at that time, please, they are just concentrating on their job. They are not looking for your small 5, 2 cedis, 5 cedis matter. You pay a year. We have to get there, folks. That's what we have to build to. So that the people that we put out there are paid well, to the extent that when your tie is bad, because actually this your tie is almost flat, whatever the reason is, you can't be driving this car, park it aside. But now when you get there with the bad tie that's bad, I say, oh Charlie, put 20 then you take the 20. You drive through 3 months later, you have a big accident, you go and crash, you kill yourself and 3 other people. And you don't know that it's because of the 20 cents you pay for that policeman. Let us multiply that to see the deaths that is happening on our streets and things. And we realize that until we get to a point where we develop and pay people well, so that they can be intelligent enough to know that this cannot go, I'm sorry. Realistically, I'm sorry. It's sad, but that is the truth. The truth of the matter is most of these things come about because it's just so easy to do, because the system is so corrupt, and it has created avenues for you to get away with things, so that when you do it, you don't even think. Let us fix those things. A legal framework that is so strong, so that when you have a traffic offense, it's not easy to just slide over like we have now. Right now, yeah, all you can count on that, you can count on people being, Charlie, this person there, or you're respectable, or yes, say that. We can count on that, that is fine. But it is not enough to count on that. You have to count on the system. That the system is so strong, the system is so planned, the system is so rigid that you can't get away with it. That is the system. We have left the system aside and we're working on the little useless things that have nothing to do, that can affect, So I mean, yeah, corruption. Every leader in Ghana that has been overthrown has been overthrown because of corruption. Yeah, corruption, And I'm saying today that why there's so much corruption in the system is that the system is effed up. Somebody wrote to me and he says it's effed up. So let me use that for now. I can't say the full word. But the system is so effed up that it encourages people to be corrupt. Please, look at it from the top. What is happening at the top level, from the ministries? What is happening at the top level, at the ministries? What are they supposed to do? And how does that encourage things that are trickle down? Domlebo put it best. It says if it stops raining at the top, it will not trickle down at the bottom. If it stops raining at the top, it will not trickle down to the bottom. But now, because it is raining so heavily at the top, and that is permissible, and that is legal, the bottom is flooded. A trickler, now flooded. Folks, let's be serious here. So folks, I'm thinking about doing fundamental changes from the top. Because when the top allows you these these loopholes, people take advantage of it. But when we can see it at the fundamental top level, I mean, look at the Ghana Health Service, look at the Ghana Education Service, look at all of these areas and see how much the windows have been opened for corruption. And people take advantage of that. But you can seal those loopholes from the top and make them watertight from the top. When you make them watertight from the top, then it's difficult for the minister to adjust and have their way. And when it's difficult for the minister, it's difficult for the director to do it, and so on and so forth. So I'm not here to say corruption is something we can't stop. I'm here just to say that we live with corruption, and the reason why we live with corruption is that the system itself is corrupt. Even the system for electing whoever leads this country is corrupt. That system can be bought. That's why I said that here that some people, allegedly, allegedly there are some people who even are now being charged with this oral thing for the fraud, who actually contributed to the party or contributed to both parties. Isn't that corruption? So fundamentally, even the structure of our partisan system in itself is structured and founded on corruption. Where do we go from there? So me, I'm just my bread. Corruption. The structure allows it. Yeah, you have your work cut out for you, because you have to do so many things, including restructuring and making law reforms that affect our institutions before it can trickle down to also that little petty corruption there. Where you can't stop it. I agree. Oh, I guess I'm saying I don't believe in zero tolerance for corruption. We are there. There must be at least some 2 to 5% beer. You must know so where it will happen. That's all I'm saying. But that doesn't mean that we cannot kill over 92% in terms of just restructuring the laws and making the laws work in the same way. All the people that we are charging of oral loot, you'll be surprised that they all have lawyers. Have you heard their lawyers? And we shall prove that this is not true and blah, 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 blah. They have lawyers because the law supports whatever crime they have committed. That one is not corruption. The system is corrupt. Folks, let me end it on this note, on the point that the system itself is corrupt. And so people, in order to survive in the system, in many cases, they have no option but to be corrupt themselves. It's very hard for me to say this and end by saying I'm not justifying that people should be corrupt, because I don't think it helps. The many deaths we are experiencing are all by this corruption. Money that could have gone into hospitals, to schools, money that would have gone into healthcare, money that would have gone into roads, money that would have gone into all these vital success through corruption have been diverted into people's personal properties and things like that. And I'm saying unless we change the fundamental laws so that those who do this, the law allows you to deal drastically and radically with them, then stop the noise. Folks, let us change the system. Let us quit this business as usual thing. Let us go hard as if we respected and loved our country. That's the only way. We can't do it. It's to close our eyes and go hard, all in the interest of building our country. And whatever it is, folks, when we're able to do that, you'll be amazed that as sad and as bad as it looks, Ghana will rise again.